Mitch Robinson has spoken, as he often does, his refreshing voice in the
He
AFL
is.
media, JJ, about Cam Ellis-Yeoman.
He is indeed. He on his podcast, Rip Through It, which is a well-known podcast, not as clever as The Field. He spoke about his ex-teammate, now ex-teammate, my ex-teammate, Cam Ellis-Yeoman's decision to basically step away or be removed from AFL because he wasn't willing to have the COVID-19 vaccination. So let's hear what Mitch had to say about that.
I think most of the players understand who is and who isn't getting vaccinated. And Cam wasn't hiding that fact. Like, we knew his situation throughout the whole process of when we first found out that, you know, you kind of have to be vaxxed to play. I've known for a long time the Yeoman's his situation with it. And I'm not going to get personally to why he hasn't got the vaccination, because that's not my place to say. That's definitely his. But knowing his situation and what he's been going through since it kind of got compulsorised, that he had to, if that's a word, to get it done, and a lot of sympathy for him. With him, we found out that it was officially going to happen on Friday when the judgment day was and had to get the first jab by. And then there's a few other players in his boat around the league, but he rang me just before the meeting. So obviously he's been talking really closely and doing it, and apparently the club's been really good with this stuff.
You learn something every day. Compulsorised. Chuck that in the vocab. Again, Cam didn't want to front the group. Not front the group, but he didn't want to sort of stand in front of the group and say, look, that's it for me because I'm unwilling to get the vaccination. We get it. Everyone's got their right to privacy. But again, I just love to, look, it's selfish for me to say it, but I just love to hear from people of any walk of life who are choosing not to get vaccinated and basically therefore giving up a lot of their career, their lifestyle, and just understand a bit more why they feel so strongly. I don't want to ridicule them or critique them at all. Just want to understand why they feel so strongly to basically give up your life.
Yeah, I think standing by that conviction is important, and that was what we discussed about Jack Darling. I wonder what the end game is with this. Is this just, and who knows in what direction the pandemic goes, and none of us can predict that, but is it just, Dan Andrews speaking yesterday about a third dose is now considered fully vaccinated? Does that then filter into the AFL? I'm assuming it does. Does that deter other players from this? And in 2 years' time, are you still going to need to be vaccinated to play? So there's a whole heap of unanswered questions. But right now, what you have to do for your team in a team sport, if you want to be part of that environment, like it or not, is to be vaccinated. And sometimes in a team sport, you have to do things that you as an individual don't want to do, but you do it for the betterment of the team, and that's the great thing about team sport. And Novak Djokovic doesn't want to get vaccinated. He's penalising himself, really, and that is fine. It's different in a team sport and a team environment. But in terms of the end game and where it goes and what it's going to look like in 2 years, and whether it's like a flu vaccine, and the AFL say, well, it's just like the flu vaccine, you have to have that to be in and around the group, or does that change, and does the attitude as the pandemic shifts change? Who knows? Who knows which way it is going to go?